Front Row MMA, we're here with Cage Warriors welterweight Matt Inman, who can't say no to an interview anymore, otherwise I'll threaten him with a headlock. You know, Matt, you got a fight coming up May 3rd, Liverpool, and because we do our research here at Front Row, I know that he's not European, he's Brazilian. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, next fight against Mauro Chimento. Like you say, he's a Brazilian. I think he's based in the UK now, although I've got to admit I'm not entirely sure which gym he's training out of at the minute. Decent guy, big record. I think he's 15-10, something like that on his sheet. The biggest thing for me is he's been fighting, I think, or his first fight record in Brazil was from 2001, which is round about the time I was getting my bus to school. So he's been fighting Vale Tudo rules since then, so he's going to bring a lot of experience to the fight with him.
You know, when you're fighting an opponent like that sometimes the record can be a little bit deceiving. You know, you imagine he's fought 25 times and over the course of a long time. Does it make it hard to sort of gauge what kind of fight you're going to get?
Yeah, very much so. Part of the problem is there's not loads and loads of footage of him. I think the best thing we've got to go off is his two recent Cage Warriors two recent Cage Warriors fights. But yeah, you never really. He's going to have a skill set. He's got to have a skill set if he's been fighting over that many years, and it's just a case of what he's going to bring on the night, what he's going to look to do.
I'm guessing because he's Brazilian, it'll be the Greco-Roman wrestling that you're watching out for.
Yeah, strong wrestling. I'm looking out for you.
You know, the welterweight division in Cage Warriors. You know, it's sort of every few months, if not few weeks, there's a new addition that makes it a much more interesting place. Obviously, on that card as well, you got Dan Hot Chocolate Roberts and Jimmy Wallhead. Are you looking at that fight, looking at a potential opponent in the future?
Yeah, that's a big fight. I think it's at the time of filming, it's the title fight tonight, right, for welterweight. So I don't know when you're going to put this up, but we might already know by result by then. It's Nicholas Dolby tonight, and I was saying this last week, but I think the Dolby fight's a good fight, but to me the real Cage Warriors title fight at the minute feels like Wallhead and Roberts, and to me that's got to be an eliminator for the title as it stands. So obviously you're watching those guys. If you want to get up there and fight, I think if that does end up being like that, being an eliminator, it's going to be one of those two guys you're looking at to get the belt. But I think maybe a few fights first for me before I'm there.
Yeah, you know, looking at the UK scene with Cage Warriors, you know, it seems to me you've had a lot of the fights. Is it a case that you know, you're looking for those guys with that wealth of experience or international experience now?
Yeah, I think the thing with me is that first loss I took against Mason, I think it really puts me back in the title picture. Even though we've done 4 straight since then, a decent win over Mohsen Bahari, and then I think the biggest win I probably had was the one against Mohsen. I think the other guys I've beaten have been good, but not at that high level. So I need to put one past Chimento, and then not looking forward too much, but I need to beat one of those, you know, top draw guys, Roberts, Wallhead, Gale, Grimaud, you know, whoever it may be.
Yeah, and I know you're not the type of fighter that, you know, talks a lot of shit or calls people out, but you know, not looking past your opponent, is that sort of the type of fight you want after this? Do you want sort of the top 3, top 4? Yeah, because I know, you know, the title's not something I know it's something that you would cherish, but it doesn't seem like it's something that, if it falls in the path, wonderful. Yeah. But it doesn't seem you're chasing it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it, to be honest. I mean, the thing with those fights, and this, you don't want to sound like you're sort of scared or anything, but those are hard fights. Those are very, very hard fights. So I don't think you hope for that kind of fight, but at the same time, you hope to get near the belt. So well, you know what? Like I fight, like whoever I get that call and they say you're going to fight so and so, I'm going to fight so and so. I'm not going to back down from that. But at the same time, I'm just like I never do. I'm never going to stand here and say I want to fight this. I think this is my best route to the belt or whatever. I just want to keep fighting and keep putting in good performances.
And of course, I know because you obviously must be starting a fight camp fairly soon that you're keeping your diet healthy and you're looking forward to it. There's no cheeky Subways coming, are there?
Yeah, well, the reason you saw me with a Subway before was because I've been out of the house since 9 o'clock this morning. I was locked in a room where I couldn't get any food, and then I got to sunny Bolton, and the only option available for me to eat was a Subway. But
can I just point out to the people listening, I've actually sat here for 10 minutes watching him write that excuse before he got on camera. It's terrible. In all seriousness, is there anything that you're going to do different leading up to this fight than you've done in training before? Is there anything new that you're going to add to sort of your arsenal, as it were?
I think there's new little ideas coming in. Like I think one thing me and Carl always do in a fight camp is Carl will sit down and he'll look at a few things the guy does particularly, and then we'll add that into the training. Like already we've been back on the pads for a couple of weeks now, and we've been working little specific things that we can do on the pads, and it's the same on the ground as well. Obviously, but I know I'm going in against a top draw grappler, so I'm fortunate in my gym alone to have maybe 4 or 5 black belts to roll with regularly. So I've been putting the gi on, and I've been making sure I'm really on point with my grappling. But other than that, it's just business as usual. Just
I don't usually ask fighters this, and again, you can just give me a smack or whatever. But again, we talked about two big fights in the welterweight division, other than your own. You got a winner for either of those fights? Like tonight, is Dalby gonna come home as the first Danish champion?
Yeah, I think Dalby does it tonight, providing he can. He's got to watch his feet. Obviously, I think that's always the thing when you're against one of those guys from the sambo background and stuff like that. Providing he can do that, I see no reason why he can't win. Of what I've seen of both the fighters, I think he's stronger. And I was just talking about this with Saul Rogers before, and I think it's a very close fight, but I think Roberts might take it at
what I'm going to do then is I'm going to play Switzerland, but off camera I'll tell you what I think, and we'll place a bet.
Okay.
Excellent. Look, Matt, we always appreciate your time. Look, and we're probably going to catch up with you just before the fight, because we want to see how it's going and how many more steak and cheese subs you managed to put away and still remain athletic. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anybody you'd like to thank?
Thanks to Front Row MMA for the interview as always.
I gotta tell you, if they could all be this simple. Thank you so much, Matt. Best of luck in preparation. We look forward to seeing you fight for the second time live.